Hang on, y'all. I'm multitasking. Good morning. I hate shots too. I am not a shot girl. I'm 53 years old and cry over a shot. I was trying to read Heidi. Let's see what she said. Oh no. Heidi, you better take care of yourself. Speaking of take care of yourself, Judy here is going to have to make an appointment with her doctor that booked a birthday party at my house. Remember that when I was in stirrups and the lady recognized me? Because I have hit menopause like 100%. So I'm going to have to figure out something because this girl is on fire. I am fire. This morning I am going to get my hair did. And I have oil all in my hair because when I go to the hairdresser, I normally am just going for a trim or I'm going to get my extensions fixed or something like that. And so I don't ever get how back in the olden days, like they washed your hair, they cut your hair wet, and then they blow dried it and styled it. That doesn't happen, or that doesn't seem to happen anymore nowadays. Everybody's in a hurry, wait, in and out, in and out. So like I asked her this morning, I was like, can you spoil me today? Because I put oil all in my hair and I'm a grease pit. I was like, do you have time to like wash my hair, massage my scalp, fix my hair? And she said, actually, I had a cancellation. So yes, I can spoil you today. And I don't know the last time I've actually been able to do that. Do y'all do that when y'all go get your hair cut? Is it like quick, quick, quick? I don't know. I just wish things would go back to the way they used to be. So I'm fixing to throw this hair up in a ponytail because ain't nothing happening today, and I'm going to get spoiled. Oh, really, Teresa? I don't. Maybe it's. I don't know. I do. I have extensions, and it takes a minute to put them in, take them out, and put them in. So maybe that's why she doesn't wash my hair. But I told her I was like, I want to be. I'm hot. I want cold hair. Cold water in my hair, and I just want to be cool. Tree Sam. Is everybody else get that? Margie, I am so mad that I do not know I was close to your house. Because I so would have said, hey, you want to meet me at the safari park? I would have done that. Okay. Let's see here. Where do I want to begin? Every morning now, I do not want to get ready. I'm too hot. It's too hot outside. It's muggy outside. As soon as I go outside, like last night, it was 8 o'clock at night and I'm drenched. And it's like that every single day here in Alabama. And I'm just like, why? Like, why even put on makeup? Why fix my hair when I'm going to be soaking wet within 30 minutes? It's just, but I don't want to go to the hairdresser and sit there and stare at myself in the mirror and going, I really should have done something with myself. I really should have done something with myself. Okay, so I will. First of all, I just talked to Chris about the word jackleg. I think I need to talk about jackleg. I can't remember. I think it was my son, or maybe it was Chris. Somebody recently, I don't remember who it was. They were like, "Mother," or maybe it was my son. "Mother, what is a jackleg?" And I'm like, "I really don't know." And he's like, "Where did that come from?" I'm like, "I don't know. I need to think about it." And I was like, trying to figure out, what is a jackleg? Like, why do I say that? Like, I say the weirdest things. And I was trying to think about what a jack what is a jackleg? And it's not just like the word joker. Speaking of joker, I was at Six Flags and I was going into every single little gift shop looking for a Joker sweatshirt because I thought it would be funny to wear the Joker sweatshirt on live. And I could not find. Joker is a new ride at Six Flags. So all the merchandise hasn't come out yet. So I could not find a Joker sweatshirt. And I was so mad. But anyway, back to the subject. I was like, what is a Joker? And what is a jackleg? Chris thinks Chris and my kids think that no, Kayla, not my kid. They were like, Judy, I think you mean jackass. And I was like, I'm calling people a jackass. I was like, are you serious? And I was like, I don't think I am. So then I was like worried about people thinking I'm saying jackleg as saying a bad word. So then that started bothering me, going, oh my gosh, people think that I'm calling them a jacka. Oh my gosh. Oh, now I'm calling somebody dishonest. The problem is, okay, a jackleg in Sneed's farmhouse vocabulary, in my dictionary, it is not a jacka. It is not a dishonest person. It's just Kayla, be careful. Chris, be careful. I I don't think that that's like those things don't go through Sneed's farmhouse's mind as what a jackleg is. It's almost like it's just a funny term that I say, but I'm not calling anyone a bad name or saying you're dishonest. So don't look in the dictionary. I, I don't I don't know. I feel like it's the same thing if you look up curling iron in the dictionary. Nowhere does it say it's a preaching stick. And when you look up the word preaching stick, nowhere in the dictionary does it say it's a curling iron. Same thing with jackleg. Jackleg in the dictionary says it's a dishonest person. It Sneed's farmhouse. A jackleg is actually a compliment. Okay. When I call you a joker, it's because I love you with all my heart. I I love you with everything that is inside me when I call you jokers. It's because it's not because I'm being negative. But see, that's another thing. Like if you don't know who your Aunt Judy is, and I'm on a reel and I say, you bunch of jokers, let me just tell you, then you're going to unfollow me just like that lady did because she thinks I'm a jackleg, you know? And so like it it's so hard. Okay, I need to get my Celtic salt out. In the last live, people said, "What are you doing with Celtic salt? What are you doing?" I'm a follower. And Haley told me, Haley's counselor. Haley is a little girl. She's not little. She's 17. Oh, I think she's 18. No, she's 17. She's 17 and she goes to counseling all the time. And her counselor told her that she needed to start taking Celtic salt for her mental health because it helps with blood flow, it helps with blood pressure, it helps with all those things. And so she told me that I needed to take Celtic salt. So I looked it up and I noticed it had 82 minerals in it. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. So, therefore, it's a natural remedy for minerals. So, I take Celtic salt every day, and I will tell you that I have noticed a difference with me. The things that I notice a difference with is it's almost like I have a little, like I know it looks like, Judy, you don't need any more energy, but it does make me have a little bit more energy and it regulates me. Too much information. That's what it does for me. So I don't notice a difference in my blood flow. Maybe that's what gives me more energy. I'm not sure. Anyway, it tastes just like salt. I crunch it. I can't find there's my sponge. So just know that if I call you a jackleg or if I call you a joker, it's because you are my BFF and I love you. It's because you make me feel comfortable around you. I wouldn't, if I'm talking to, I don't know, the president of the United States, I'm not going to go, oh my gosh, you jackleg. I wouldn't do that. But someone that I love and that I can be funny with and someone that I can just be myself with, I'm going to call you a jackleg and a joker. And it's because I'm comfortable around you and I feel like I can just be silly Judy. I feel like I should go back to calling this a protein shake. Personally, I still don't know a word for my water. Okay, so hang on, let me look at my notes. I was going to talk about something today that I learned. I know what one of them is, but let me look at. I started writing notes because I'm getting old. Let's see. Oh, okay. My phone did not charge last night, so yesterday there is a girl here in Coleman that has struggled with anxiety and depression. I think it's her whole life. And there was a point, she's younger than me. I don't know how old she is, but there was a point in her life where she did not feel like she had a purpose and she did not feel like that she wanted to live any longer. Like that's how bad it was. And then listening to her testimony, she said she was sitting in the car, like contemplating suicide. And she felt the word look up. Just look up. And so when she felt the word look up, she felt it as though God was telling her to look up, that he had a purpose for her life. And this girl has written several books since that day. And her books are on anxiety and depression. And she specifically talks to like younger kids about what anxiety feels like. Because when you're a young kid and you have anxiety, you don't know how to say, I have anxiety. What you say is, my stomach hurts. I have a headache. I can't go to school today. Those things is what kids say when they have anxiety, because they don't know what anxiety is. They just know it doesn't feel good. and I'm going to tell mama my stomach hurts, because when you have anxiety, your stomach can hurt. You can have where you have to sit on the toilet, or you have a migraine headache when you have anxiety, or you don't feel good. You don't feel like going to school. And so she talks to the younger population, and the book she's written is I Have an Elephant on My Chest. And so yesterday, and I bought her book like months ago, and I read it and I loved it. And she actually went live with me. I don't know how long y'all been following me. I need to say this before I forget. I'm getting off the subject. When I was in Missouri and I did videos, I was like, why has no one told me that I have a huge makeup line? And I asked my son that. I said, have I always looked like that? He was like, Mother, yes. I go, no one has ever. And I thought, oh, yes, they have. They've told me my makeup doesn't match, and I get my feelings. I get my feelings hurt, and I want to block them. And I'm like, they're the only ones that were truthful with me that said, Judy, your makeup looks terrible. And I was getting my feelings hurt instead of listening to them. So the ones that told me that my makeup looked terrible, shout out to you, because you're right. And so I was like, what is the deal? I did not know my makeup looked like that. So I think it's because I'm putting too much foundation on. So I talked to Kayla about that, because, she's referred me to this makeup. And she said, Judy, when you sit there and do your makeup in the morning and you're like, you're putting on way too much makeup. So, oh, the makeup lady's talking to me. I'm supposed to be Patton. This makeup is totally different. This that Kayla's referred, this right here, Estee Lauder Double Wear. It is not like other foundation. You have to have instructions on how to put it on. Anyway, off that subject. So she went live with me a while back, and we talked about anxiety, because I have a lot of kids here. And when kids come here, I can pick up on it. I can pick up on autism. I can pick up on their parents just got a divorce and they're trying to co-parent together. I can pick up on this girl has got severe anxiety. Like, I can pick up on it because of what these kids say and their mannerisms. I can pick up on, there was one time I could tell that the man was abusive by the way he was talking to his wife. And it was so abusive that we went to the creek and I got uncomfortable. I felt like if I was not there, that lady would have gotten punched in the face. And I could see the fear in her eyes when he began to get irate. And then when he walked away, she said to me that she was sorry for the way he acted and they were divorced because of it. And I picked up on that very quickly. I picked up on it. So, like, people that come to the farm and you're with them for 2 hours and their children, you pick up on it. So if you have a grandchild, a niece, a nephew, a kid, whatever, I just poke myself in the eye. I really strongly suggest you get her book, because when you read it to a kid about an elephant on your chest, the kid understands. And the book takes you along on what to do when you have an elephant on your chest. And it's like, talk to adults that you feel close to about having an elephant on your chest. And it's just a good book. And sometimes, we as grandparents or parents, sometimes because we're around the kid all the time, we don't pick up on the warning signs of what they're trying to say. Like, we're in a hurry trying to get ready for work, and when they're saying their stomach's hurting, you're bypassing that, going, "You're going to school. Get up, get ready. You're going to school." Because you're like, they do this crap all the time. So, like, you don't pick up on my kids trying to tell me something is wrong. When they use the excuse all the time that their stomach hurts or their legs hurt or something, they're trying to communicate with you and tell you something's not right. But when they do it all the time, you think they're doing it for attention. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes you've got to slow down and go, what is how I tell you about breaking things down? Sometimes you have to go, why is my grandchild saying their stomach hurts all the time? I need to break this down. I need to watch her mannerisms. I need to see what she's eating. I need to look at her completely to figure this out. And I need to hold her hand and get her some help or get him some help. But I want to tell you what I learned yesterday with her. So yesterday, her name is Karis Snyder. I don't know her that well. I just know her and I follow her. But she was reading her book on Instagram. She has a pretty big following on Instagram. And she went live yesterday to read her book. And I'm always interested, now that I have a children's book, I'm always interested when you hear the author read the book versus someone else. Because if someone else read my book, the author I'm not the author, but it's my book. I read it totally different because I read it telling a story because it's my story. So I couldn't wait to hear Karis, because I'd never heard Karis read her story out loud. And so I was real interested in listening to her. No, Karis, Caris. I don't know if you can tag her, Kayla. Karis Snyder. Caris. Anyway, so she began to read her book and she was, oh my gosh. So as she was reading the book, she reminded me of me when I read my book, because she stops and talks about anxiety, and she's reading to the children and she's explaining what the elephant on the chest is. Well, she got all the way through the book. And then she said, let's talk about gratitude. And so she explained to the children what gratitude means. And she said, gratitude means things that you're thankful for. And so she began to explain that, and I did not know this, and I've been in counseling my whole life. She said, when you replace anxiety with gratitude, studies have been proven that your mind can't be anxious and thankful at the same time. I was like, seriously? So I started thinking about it. And I thought, gosh, as soon as I have an appointment with my counselor this week, that's the first thing I'm going to ask her. Because I've never, as many times as I've been to counseling, I've never heard that. So I feel like in my lives, I feel like I should, because I wake up every morning on the struggle bus. Most mornings. Most mornings I'm struggling. So I wondered if I replace my struggle and start being grateful and wake up in the mornings being thankful versus being on the struggle bus, what would happen? Have you ever thought about it? So I thought this morning, as we sit here and we learn that your brain can't be anxious and thankful at the same time, I thought, okay, let's start the day with gratitude. Let's start the day off right. Instead of talking about all the crap that's going on in life, my car's broke down, my whatever, like I hate going to work. Oh my God, I go to work with a bunch of crazy people. Like all the things that we do in the morning as we're getting ready, dreading doing what we're doing or whatever. What if if your brain can't be anxious and thankful at the same time, what if in the morning you went, y'all are gonna laugh at the things, but I'm so thankful that number one, that I found my purpose in life. Instead of going, okay, let me back up. This is how I wake up. Oh my gosh, I'm not making any money this month at Sneed's Farmhouse. How the crap am I going to pay for all this? Like, what if I don't get any field trips in the month of in the fall months? What am I going to do? Last year, I was not that busy in the fall months like I was the year before. Is it because people don't really like Sneed's Farmhouse? Am I boring? Like, what is it? Why aren't people coming back? Like, I mean, what if they don't come? How am I going to pay for this? Am I going to be able? Okay, that's what I wake up doing. So, what if I replaced all that worry and anxiety with, I'm getting ready in the morning. I am so grateful that I have gotten to where I am today. I am grateful that I have developed friendships that will have my back. I am grateful that I have my health to get up to go live every morning. I'm grateful that I have these backup dancers that encourage me to be my very best every day. Like, what if I woke up being grateful versus worrying about, oh my gosh, I'm looking at my calendar and I literally have nothing. I have nothing. Nothing. What if you take that and begin to be grateful? What would happen? So I thought we would practice that. I thought we would take her advice and just go, okay, I'm going to practice it, because we do have a lot of crap going on in life. Like, our life is interrupted all the time by negative crap, right? Our health, our finances, our jobs, our spouses, our kids, like all these things we get interrupted in life all the time. And it takes us away from gratitude because we are too busy complaining about all the crap that's going on in our lives. And so if we practice gratitude and begin to be thankful for the things that are going on in our lives. And sometimes we go through things in life to get us down the road that we're going, but we can't see that because it seems so cloudy. And I shared with y'all before about when I was living in Stapleton. When I was living in Stapleton, I lived at the beach, okay? I lived at the beach. I had like the best life ever, okay? Like, I got to the beach and I didn't know anybody. And I've always plugged myself into a gym. That's how I get into the community. And so right off the bat, I was in this small community in Stapleton, which is right outside Bay Minette in Gulf Shores. And I was like, I got to get plugged into a gym. So I started going to the Y, and I didn't really want to teach at the Y. I was just like, I don't feel like it. And I was like, I want to do it myself. So I plugged into my community and saw a need, and I started a group fitness class in my community, and it began to grow like you would not believe. And I had a huge block party in my community where we had the rescue helicopter come land. We had the fire department. I had gifts everywhere. We had people donate food, and we were eating as a community. It was incredible. And I really felt connected in my community. And when Shane came home and said, I have a job offer in or he said Decatur. And I said, you're fixing to take me away from everything I love. Like, I just got plugged into the community. I had been there 2 years. I had a gorgeous country house with a wrap porch all the way around. It was a cedar house. We had 7 acres. I had just learned to drive the tractor to cut the grass, like everything. I developed relationships with these women. We were best friends. As a matter of fact, one of the women in the community had a swimming pool, and the swimming pool was like 4 feet deep in the whole pool. So I started water aerobic classes because I'm water aerobic certified. And I started water aerobics in her pool. And there was probably 10 or 12 of us that met twice a week at her house to do water aerobics. It was just fantastic. We played games together. They had this huge surprise party for me. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but I was trying to adventure out with my certifications, and I went and got pound certified. I don't know if you know what pound is, but pound is an aerobic class where you play the drums. And so it was like $350 for me to go get pound certified. But I was willing to do it and pay the money for us to try something new. And so I went and got pound certified. When I got home from getting certified, I got the certification. So I'm pound certified. And so I brought the class to the gym that I was teaching at, and they had a surprise party for me. I thought we were having a surprise party for this lady for her birthday. And I was sitting here planning the whole freaking thing. And it backfired on me, and they were planning a party for me. Well, I walked into the door thinking that we were surprising this lady that was with me, and they turned around and surprised me with a pound party for me passing my certification, and they raised money for me and paid for my certification. That's how close we were. Okay. So when Shane said that he was considering moving us to Decatur, I woke up every morning with no gratitude. I woke up every morning in desperation to God. Dear Heavenly Father, please do not move us from here. Please, I feel like I'm supposed to be here. Like every morning there was no gratitude. There was the desperation prayers going, please, dear Jesus, do not take these women are my best friends. Please do. I have never been so happy in my entire life. I love my house. I love my community. Like I'm at the beach. Like everything is perfect. Please do not take me away from this. And there was no gratitude at all. I wasn't waking up thankful. I was waking up anxious, begging God to keep me in Stapleton. And when I tell you the prayers were desperation, I would go get Shane's pillow. I am not joking. I would get Shane's pillow and I would begin to lay hands and pray on his pillow, praying that God would keep us in Stapleton. There was no gratitude. Imagine if I replaced that worry and begging God for my will to be done. Imagine if I opened my heart and said, okay, God, I am so thankful for a relationship with you. I'm thankful that I trust you so much that no matter where we go, I know you're with me. But that's not how it was. I was not there. I was like, this cannot happen. And then when we put our house on the market, now keep in mind, when Shane and I bought the house, it was falling in. Okay. The ceilings were falling in when we bought this house. And Shane and I redid the entire house. Like the entire, our house was so cute. It was not even funny. Okay. It was precious. Shane built a $30,000 shop behind the building, and we had just completed it. So when he came home to say that we were going to get moved, I was like, there's no way we'll move. He just put up a $30,000 building in the back of the yard. He's not moving. Like, he's not moving. And as time got closer, and he was like, he got the job. And I'm still thinking in my mind, God ain't moving us. he is not. I've been praying. I've been praying over this pillow, and I felt in my heart that we were not moving. And I woke up anxious every single day. And when the house went on the market, I began to go, okay, God, listen, you got this. You're not letting this house sell. Okay. You're not. You're not letting this house sell. Our house sold in less than 24 hours. And I nearly laid on the floor and was like, I was so mad. So instead of waking up grateful, I woke up pissed off every day. Like, there ain't no God. He ain't freaking listening to me. He's taking me to a disaster. But if I woke up every day with a grateful heart, thanking God for the opportunity for me to be in Stapleton to do what I did, I didn't. I just couldn't see the blessings that were going on around me. I could only live in the moment and not think about what was fixing to happen to us. I could only think about what was not happening to us. And so many times we as human beings, we're like that. We're like, I don't understand. Everything is crashing down right in front of me. How could there be any good come out of this? There's no way. There's no way that any good is going to come out of them when this jackleg is taking us away from Stapleton, moving us to somewhere I don't know anyone. I got to start all over again. I got to go back to a gym, start all over again. There's no way any good is coming out of this. Everything is a disaster. And sometimes we can't see what God is putting in front of us. And so we have no gratitude because we're too busy and let's see. We're not trusting. We're going with what we think we knows best because we know it all. You know how we are. We know it all. There's no way that God would move me to Decatur, Alabama, away from the beach. There's no way. There's no way that he would have me rebuild this entire house, get it finished, and then move. There's no way. And then when we moved, we're going down the road. Larry is having to drive a car, and I'm, like, scared to death. Larry was in a car in front of us. I was in my car, and Shane was in the U-Haul with all of our stuff in the back. House had sold. We had just gone to closing, and we're in the car headed to Coleman. We were actually moving to Faultville. And we were going, I know that this is not normal. We were going to move into the house on Friday and close on Monday because we had nowhere to go because we had to close on our house. So we worked out an agreement with the owners to let us move in on the Friday before we closed on Monday. Larry, that's really shouldn't be driving on the interstate, me and my car and the dogs, and Shane in the U-Haul with all of our crap in the back, is headed to the house. And we get the dreaded call that says, Miss Sneed, I'm sorry to tell you this, but when we ran the title, there's a $15,000 state lien on this property. I was like, what do we do? And she goes, you can't move in the house and you're not closing on this house. Told you, Shane, we weren't supposed to move. Told you. I knew God was going to interrupt this whole I knew it. He interrupted the whole thing. Told you. Now we don't have a house anywhere. We got Larry that we're trying to take care of. We got all our stuff in back of a U-Haul, and we have nowhere to go. So then I'm calling Shane on the phone going, hey, guess what? Told you. I've been praying. God just slammed this down. So turn around. We're going back to Stapleton. And Shane goes, Shane had his grandparents' house that he bought 1,800 years ago in Gadsden. That's the only place we could go. So he goes, I guess we're going to stick our stuff in storage and go into Gadsden. I'm like, dude, your job is in Decatur. In other words, it's an hour and a half drive one way to Shane's work. We have no house. I'm like, this is a complete disaster. Shane, see, the problem was Shane wasn't praying. This is me talking to myself. Shane doesn't have a close relationship to God, and he did his will, and he wasn't praying. And now Shane has interrupted the whole God process, and now we're stuck in Gadsden, an hour and a half away from his job. He needs to start going to church. That's where I was. How in the world, when you're in the midst of driving down the interstate, headed to your house, where does gratitude come in play? Like in the middle of freaking chaos. I have anxiety. Do you think I could start going, okay, Kara said that anxiety and gratitude cannot be played at the same time. And my anxiety is through the freaking roof right now, driving down the interstate, watching my dad in front of me. So let me replace this with gratefulness. Okay, God, thank you so much for taking this house right under my feet. And thank you for selling the house that I love so much. Thank you for selling that house. And now we have no place to live. Thank you, God. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Like, how in the world can you find gratitude in all this? But when you're in the midst of chaos and you can't find anything good going on, imagine trusting so much to go, okay, God, obviously you have another plan for my life that I have no clue what it looks like. But instead of me sitting here stressing out because we have no home to go to, I'm going to trust your will, because obviously there's something good that's going to come out of this. Are we strong enough as human beings in the middle of anxiety, chaos, to find gratitude? I know for this joker, at that point in my life, there is no way I could find gratitude driving down the road with Larry in the front of me, a U-Haul in the back of me, and having freaking no house and no place to go. And Shane has to go to work. And I'm gonna go a step further. We get to Shane's, okay, I need to paint the picture for you. In Gadsden, back in the 40s, Shane's grandparents built this house. I forgot what the village is called. It's where there's this huge, in Gadsden, there was this huge steel plant that was known for steel workers. All the steel workers lived in this village. Okay. And it was a cute little village in the 40s. Okay. But this house that we were going to was built into the 40s. Okay. In 2000, let's see, when did we move? In 2019, it was not a cute little village. It almost looked like the projects, and there was no good in this village. As a matter of fact, the man across the street from the house that we were in, he was renting that. A lot of people bought these houses to rent for income. So the house across the street had this man in it that obviously was owned something. If I went outside, when I tell you this man beat the snot out of his girlfriend or wife, you could hear it all across the community. The fight was that bad. It got to the point where I was scared to go outside. I would call the police immediately when I started hearing it going on. She would be screaming at the top of her lungs because he was beating the crap out of her. It was, and the cops would come, they would take him to jail, and then he would come back. Okay. He thought he was a ninja. So oftentimes he would come into the middle of the road and do ninja stuff. I called him the ninja. I was scared to death of him. So there's no way I'm driving down the road, U-Haul behind me, Larry in front of me, no house to go to, hour and a half away from Shane's job, moving into the project with the ninja across the street. There's no way that's in God's plan, right? Like, there's no gratitude. Dear Jesus, thank you for moving me into this project with the ninja across the street from me. Like, no freaking way this is in God's plan. There's no way. I was so scared of where we lived that I would not come out of that. I was making the dogs use the pee-pee pad because I was scared to go outside. Because Shane would go to work and me and Larry were stuck in the house. And there's ninjas outside. And as a matter of fact, the ninja, I'm trying to remember what happened. I can't remember if we were moving out or something. The ninja came up to my Shane's daughter's boyfriend and tried to do ninja on him. It was like when I tell you crazy land, there's no way in the midst of bull crap that I could find gratitude. I had anxiety through the roof. And I thought in my head, anxiety, okay, at the time, if I would have known that gratitude took away anxiety, would I have been so strong that I would have trusted that God meant for me to be in the projects with the ninja across the street, an hour and a half away from Shane's job, no place to go, with my dad in the house? I don't know if I'm strong enough to find gratitude in the middle of that. But have you ever been in a storm where you felt like you were drowning and you find out today that finding gratitude will replace your anxiety? Would you be so strong that you could find gratitude in the middle of living in the projects with a ninja across the street and no house and no place to go? I wasn't. I wasn't strong enough. I was pissed. I was mad at God. If you had have sold this freaking house, we wouldn't be in the middle of the project with a ninja across the street. Like, it was crazy. We lived there. Okay, so then Shane's at work and can't look for a house. So guess who has to do that? And so it was like desperation to find a house, and I could not find anything that I liked. And I was getting to the point of just give me freaking something. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care. Find something for this price and say contract. Because at this point, get me away from this freaking ninja. You know? So, like, sometimes if you've been in a storm similar to mine and you're like, there's no way this is from God. There's no way that God would put me in a projects with a ninja across the street with no house. There's no way. And at this point in my life, I had so much anxiety that I began to hate Shane. This is your fault. Have you ever done that? This is your fault. You're the person who didn't think this through, that just jumped on a job and moved your whole freaking family 5 hours away to a house with a ninja across the street. I'm like, you didn't do enough getting on your knees and praying, and you just did your way. Like, you get so much anxiety that you begin to blame other people. You can't, because when you're in the midst of chaos, it's hard to break things down and go, what is my ownership? What is my ownership in this? Where am I going? Am I going to La La Land? Like, I need to figure out me. But instead, you'd rather go, it's her fault. It's his fault. It's, you know what I mean? You start blaming other people because you have so much anxiety and stress because it's not going the way you planned. It's not. And so let's fast forward to today. Needless to say, I found a house. I'm living in it now. Imagine if I knew back then what I know now. Would I have gratitude? If I would have known that God was moving me to Coleman, and imagine if he said, okay, Judy, listen, you're having anxiety, and let me sit you down and talk to you what's in my perfect plan. Judy, when you move to this town that you don't know anyone, I am going to set this platform for you where you have 100,000 people following you. You're going to have people come from other states to visit your farm because you're going to have a farm, Judy. You're going to have chickens and you're going to have ducks and peacocks and a mini cow and a donkey and a goat and sheep and alpacas. I'm going to give you this beautiful farm. And in that farm, I'm going to have you an education center built where you can have group homes and sober living facilities come to mindfulness through your animals. And I'm going to give you this perfect plan. I'm going to start crying. Imagine if God set me down as I was driving down the interstate with the U-Haul behind me, my dad in front of me, and go, Judy, I got you. I got you, Judy. You're fixing to live this life that is unbelievable, but you have to trust me. Imagine if I chose gratefulness over my anxiety. Imagine if God showed me the big picture as I was driving down the interstate with no home. Would I find gratefulness over anxiety? I think I would. I think that if he put that picture in front of me and went, Judy, your farm is going to bring so many people to mindfulness. You got to trust me. Can you imagine how grateful I would have sit there going down the interstate going, no, God, are you serious? Like right now? Wait a minute, God, I'm going to have a mini donkey. Shut up. You are not giving me a mini donkey. What? I get to name him Bad Leroy Brown. Shut the front door. Are you kidding me right now? Like, I have to go live across the street from a ninja, and you're fixing to give me this huge farm and this huge following so I can spread your goodness. Are you kidding me right this minute? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I sit here. What time is it? I'm just running my mouth. So I sit here as I was watching Karis's video last night of her reading her story. I thought in my mind, how can I exercise gratitude over anxiety? I wake up every day worrying about Sneed's Farmhouse going out of business. I'm worried that I can't afford it. I'm worried that I can't afford. I'm not gonna lie. Kayla's like a daughter to me. I mean, she's not like a daughter to me. She's like more like a best friend. But I'm like, what if me and Kayla can't have a job, or what if Leroy don't have food, or what if you just feel like you can't breathe. You're like, oh my God, I don't have any field trips, I don't have any donations coming in, I don't have any tours. Oh my gosh, I can't breathe. This is not gonna work. I'm gonna fail. I'm going to disappoint everybody, the animals, my followers, the community. Oh my gosh, I'm fixing to just disappoint everyone. It almost sounds comical, doesn't it? I can't find the sponge so I can wipe my tears away. I feel like I should just give up. Like, should I just give up putting on makeup? I think I should, because I can't find nothing. But it's like when you can't see the big picture, and I almost feel like God does not put the big picture in front of you in the middle of your anxiety, because if he did, I don't feel like there would be a learning lesson for me. Like, through this move, I will tell you, through this move, it's brought me closer to God. It's made me realize, because when I lost my mother and I lost my dad, I felt very frustrated. I felt like, because my parents died in their 60s, they were young. And I just felt, how did I feel? I felt I felt lonely. I feel like God just robbed me of my parents. And then when my younger brother started getting sick, my family went divided because no one was comfortable having a get together because no one wanted him to come. So they didn't want to say, hey, can, let's just say, you and Greg come over for Thanksgiving, because they don't want to leave my little brother out. But my little brother's dangerous. And so instead of it being uncomfortable and us getting together, it all went away. So I felt like I didn't have a family. Mom's gone, dad's gone. Like, we can't get together because of my brother. So now I sit here on holidays. So I felt frustrated with God for a long time. And sometimes I still feel frustrated. But like, I feel like God doesn't show you when you're driving down the interstate with no home, you know, and no place to go and no place to put your crap in, storage. I mean, I'm sorry, a house. Like, I think if God showed me the big picture in the moment, I don't think I would trust him. I would think, whatever, you're not about to give me a freaking farm. I'm not even a farmer. I'm a roving instructor. Like, whatever. You're going to give me a donkey? Like, I know how to take care of a donkey. You're going to give me a social media platform? Whatever. That didn't happen to people like me. So I really believe that if he put a big screen in front of me at that moment, I don't even think I would have trusted. I'd be like, you're just joking me. You're just trying to get me to smile. Like, it ain't working. You put the big screen in front of me, but it ain't working. Because you think in that moment when I was driving down the road with all that anxiety, I would have believed that I would have had a farm, dancing in front of children, going to schools, more or less reading a book. I'm not reading a book in front of people. I don't even like to read the Bible in Sunday school class. There's no way that Judy Sneed is getting up in front of 1,000 people reading a book. Do you think that if he would have wrote that right in front of me, Judy, don't be anxious. Be grateful. I'm fixing to give you this life that is unimaginable. Do you think that I would have trusted that much? No. No. So I'm here to tell you that as she talks about that being anxious and having gratitude at the same time, you can't do both. You can either be anxious or you can be thankful. And today, as I sit here in front of all of you, I'm so thankful for you. You know, I'm gonna cry again. Sometimes people say, Judy, you're out to change the world. And I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not out to change the world. I'm out to change me. I come here and go live and share with you I share with you my testimony because I feel as though it helps me stay well. It helps remind me not to be anxious, to have gratefulness. Because if I didn't talk about it, I don't think I would sit here and tell you, like, I wouldn't sit here and play the whole story out in my head. But as I tell you the story about the whole move and all that stuff, and how I didn't, did you see that snot bubble just come out of my nose? I literally just blew a snot bubble out of my nose. Um, Sorry. I just feel like that um if if I didn't share with you this story, I wouldn't remind myself of this story. And as I begin to talk here in the mornings on Mondays and Wednesdays at 7, I'm going to tell you, I am speaking from my heart. I'm I I am speaking from really what God lays on my heart. I feel like we're here for a reason. I don't feel like this I, I feel like the friendships that are developed here are for a reason. I feel like it's a very special um, place to come. And it's not because of me, it's because of you. Like this 7 o'clock live has nothing to do with me. It's how you're helping me, which seems like it makes no sense. You're like, Judy, that's not true. I'm not on the live talking. Yes, you are. I go back and read your comments. Yes, you do. Yeah, you may not be physically like me looking at you, but I'm looking at you. As a matter of fact, when I see your name all the time, I want to go look and see what your cute picture. I'm like, what does Mary look like? Oh my gosh, she is cute as a bug. Are you kidding me? She is so cute. She's like little. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. I am invested in you just like you're invested in me. It's not one-sided. I'm not here for the show. I'm here to let God speak through me. That's what I'm here for. So today is Wednesday. It's hump day, right? It's hump day, and Monday I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard I'm crying because I'm telling you about me taking a dump, and then today I'm bawling my eyes. So like when you come here on live, you never know what you're gonna get. Okay, it's like you never know what Judy's gonna do. But I love you with all my heart, and thank you for encouraging me and reminding me to have gratefulness over being anxious. And I really do want us to practice this in the mornings. So when you're in the midst of chaos and you're driving down the interstate and you have no home and you have no places to look for your stuff and you land in the projects with a ninja behind you, we need to practice gratitude before that happens so that when it does happen, we can find our gratefulness. Thank you, Karis, for teaching us this lesson today. She doesn't even know I'm talking about it. Then maybe she'll go back and listen to this message. She is a precious soul here in our community, and her book is There's an Elephant on My Chest, and she has several books. Kara Snyder is her name. I hope that you'll support her and go look her up, go follow her, go buy her books. She is precious and a great resource for our community and to our children about how to teach them about what anxiety feels like. Because I wish I'd have had Karis in my life when I was younger. I wish I would have understood why my stomach hurt. I love you guys. You have choices. You can sit it out or you can dance. And I hope today that you'll find that gratitude, and I hope you'll dance. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.